Have you ever felt like no matter how much you try to stay pure, the battle against lust keeps creeping in? You're not alone. In fact, the ones who are called for a higher purpose often find themselves struggling with this more than anyone else. But why? Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal might just change how you see yourself forever. Reason 1. The curse of high sensitivity. Chosen ones often have heightened spiritual and emotional sensitivity. You feel everything deeply. Pain, love, energy shifts. But that also means desire hits harder. The same way you connect deeply with people's emotions, you can also feel attraction in a more intense way, making it harder to ignore. Think about King David, one of the most anointed men in history. He was a man after God's own heart, yet he fell into lust and took another man's wife. Why? Because deep feelers often become deep strugglers. David wasn't just physically attracted to Bathsheba. His emotions and sensitivity made him more vulnerable to the pull of desire. He didn't just see her, he felt something. And that feeling led to one of the biggest moral failures of his life. Many artists, musicians, and empaths experience this same battle. Key takeaway: if you're a deep feeler, you must learn how to manage your emotions. Sensitivity is a gift, but if left unchecked, it can turn into a dangerous weakness. Reason 2. The attack on destiny. Lust isn't just a temptation. For chosen ones, it's an attack. The enemy knows that distraction leads to destruction. If you're busy battling your own desires, you're too occupied to focus on your purpose. This is why so many great leaders, pastors, and visionaries have fallen into scandals. The attack wasn't just personal, it was strategic. Samson was literally chosen before birth to be a deliverer for Israel. He had supernatural strength, divine favor, and a unique calling. But what was his greatest weakness? Lust. His uncontrolled desire for women led him to Delilah, who ultimately betrayed him, and just like that, his purpose was stolen. His power was stripped away. His eyes were gouged out. The enemy didn't just want him to fall, he wanted him to be completely destroyed so he couldn't fulfill his calling. Key takeaway: if you have a big calling on your life, don't be surprised when you face big temptations, but remember you have the power to overcome. Reason 3. The isolation factor. One of the hardest parts of being a chosen one is feeling alone. People admire you, but they don't really understand you. And what happens when loneliness sets in? The need for connection grows stronger, and lust often disguises itself as a solution. Elijah had just called down fire from heaven and defeated hundreds of false prophets, but immediately after, he found himself alone, afraid, and depressed. He ran into the wilderness and asked God to take his life. Why? Because even the strongest people break when they feel alone. Many chosen ones turn to lust, not because they lack discipline, but because they lack companionship. Ever wonder why some of the most successful people, who seem to have everything, end up caught in affairs? They crave real connection, but instead they fall into lust because it's an easy way to fill that void. Key takeaway: be intentional about building real, meaningful relationships. Lust will never satisfy the loneliness of the soul. Reason 4. The power of influence. Chosen ones often have strong energy, charisma, and influence. But with that power comes attraction from others and within yourself, and that attention can turn into temptation if not controlled. Joseph was young, good-looking, and successful. Potiphar's wife was drawn to his presence. But Joseph knew the cost. He ran from temptation, even when it meant suffering for doing the right thing. This shows that influence attracts temptation, but how you respond determines your future. Key takeaway: power is attractive, but it must be handled with discipline. If you don't control your influence will control you. Reason 5. The trap of unfulfilled purpose. When a chosen one isn't walking fully in their calling, there's a void, and voids demand to be filled. If you're not busy with your purpose, lust will offer itself as a distraction. It's why people often struggle the most when they feel stuck in life. David wasn't at war when he fell into lust with Bathsheba. He was idle. When you're not fighting the right battles, the wrong ones will find you. Many chosen ones fall into distractions. Many people who feel lost in life turn to lust, pornography, or unhealthy relationships as a way to escape. When purpose is missing, vices take their place. Key takeaway: stay busy with your mission. If you don't have a goal, Distractions will fill the void. The fact that you battle with this means you have something powerful inside you. But the key is not just resisting, it's redirecting. Focus on your purpose, surround yourself with the right people, and never fight this battle alone. Share your problem in the comments if this spoke to you. Let's start the conversation.